Thank you, Sophie. Next, this is put in this meeting as a part of club assembly in that, we operate structurally as a club with a constitution and bylaws. The constitution is somewhat standard from Rotary International with a few tweaks of our own. And the bylaws are our own for our club. They're what Maggie and Terry and the other board members point me to every time I ask a question about what do we do with this thing and how do we handle that within our rules. So we do have opportunity here based on a survey of membership opinions that Vanessa's been working on diligently. And she did a little cloud image here of the most common words that come up in the written answers to the survey. But I'd like to turn this over to Vanessa. She's going to tell a little bit about why we're visiting this and what the next steps are.
Good morning, everybody. So in an effort to bring our bylaws into step with Rotary International's suggestions about attendance requirements, we took a look at our bylaws, and they require 60% attendance across meetings, other club meetings, fundraisers, committee events, in order to be a member in good standing. And over the last few years, we haven't been enforcing that rule. So we thought rewording the bylaws to emphasize attendance or participation over an attendance requirement would be a good next step. And so the first step was to take the temperature of the room, and 60% of you don't want to see this attendance requirement enforced, but 51% want to have some kind of requirement in the bylaws. So it's an interesting little line we're going to walk. And I think what the next step is to come to the board and work on some phrasing to reflect this kind of participation over attendance desire that most of you want to see. And then the next step after that would be to bring it back to you and take a vote on if we're going to change the bylaws. And yeah. So maybe March at the rate this is going.
We have the fortune of time on our side. This change, if there is one, would be in effect starting with Vanessa's presidential year. So we're not going to rush this. We're taking it methodically. There is protocol in the bylaws for how exactly we do this and in the Constitution. And so once there is draft language, that will circulate the club for 30 days, and then we'll come back to a meeting and vote on it after discussion and comments have been received. So that's how that's working. And thank you for participating, those that have. If you haven't, you're not too late. There's still time to review what's offered as a draft when that's released, and then to vote at our meeting when that comes to the club. Any other things there, Vanessa, about that?
No, 48 have participated so far. After 2 email blasts, I don't know if I should send another one or.
I think we're done with the survey. Those have participated, so let's move on to the language and we'll circulate it to the club. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I do get the note there in the chat. Yes, this will be recirculated to the whole club so that they know what's happening, because not everybody's on the meetings this morning. Next up, this is a biggie, succession planning. We have 3 election seats this morning. The 4 past presidents, excuse me, 4 past presidents, mostly led by Maggie in this go-round, nominate and discuss with potential candidates the future presidencies. And so our very own John Gullam has agreed to accept a nomination and is on our ballot this morning as our 2023-24 president after Vanessa's term. We also have 2 board seats opening up. One has been served partial year by Nick Torres, who took over a vacancy board year, or there's really 3 years at a time. And then new candidate, Jeff Stebbins, who has really gotten deeply involved in many things over the last couple of years here in the club, and is interested in getting into the organizational aspect of it. So thank you to all our candidates. What we have here, this is a preview of the ballot that we're about to put up on screen, if I can figure out how to do that. So there are 3 selections available, one for president and 2 board member seats. And there's an option there, if you don't agree with the candidates that are presented, to do a write-in. And please, when you write in, if it's a board candidate, send it to me in the chat. If it's a president candidate, send it to Maggie. So without further ado, let me see if I can get this poll up on screen. Here we go. The poll is open for our voting for these candidates. And
you may have to there you go. Okay.
We'll give this a couple minutes to make sure everybody can figure out. If you do struggle to get this to work on your device, please message me directly and we'll make sure your vote is counted.
Yeah, since I'm a co-host, I'm only seeing the results, so I'll.
Yeah.
You can count Lisa and my vote the same. Give us 2.
Thank you.
I kind of don't think there's probably going to be a squeaker.
Well, we do have 37, I believe, connected to the meeting, and so far we've got.
I want to know, man. Don't just yes or no. Just I don't.
I know this suspense is killing us.
Looks like everybody's making their way through the ballot. So we're 100% yes for Jeff of the votes, 29 so far received. That means there's still a couple more votes hanging out there. Again, if you're struggling with the mechanism here on your device, please speak up so that you can be heard and counted.
DJ
Okay, now,
projects a winner. We have
I think that is a safe projection. So let's go from the top here. Jeff, 30 out of 30 are in favor. Thank you for your dedication to stepping up and serving. Nick, 30 out of 31 who have voted are in favor. Thank you for your dedication to stepping up to greater service in the club. John, my congratulatory condolences. Well done, sir. Okay, and I'm assuming that everybody can see these results. Is that correct?
Yes, and just so people don't think somebody voted against Nick and John, I think those were those people sending us notes or something. So I think it might be unanimous.
It sure looks that way to me. Okay, well, thank you everybody for participating. I'm glad this worked. John, Jeff, and Nick, thank you for your dedication and service to the club. We look forward to your leadership. Results. Okay. I think that's, oh, that was my slide in case we needed a background. So Nick, I know we got a prequel to the raffle here. You want to take us through the rest of it?
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes this thing's a little touchy, and I end up just kind of accidentally hitting the thing. So we'll go with Lisa as the first one. And today's pot is $110 if you get the blue ball. If not, then we'll just make it to $120 next week. All right, Lisa, I will pay you $5 through Venmo. And let's go ahead and do this cool little thing and watch the wheel turn. Maybe. Oh, now it doesn't want to make any noise at all. All right. Did it land on? Terry. All right. So let's see what Terry gets. $5. So we will do $120 next week, and I will pay you both through Venmo right now. Thank you for participating.
Thank you, Nick. Next, we've got, from Sophie that we're closing in on our annual budgeted fundraising goals. We've got 7,000 left to go to meet our stated budget. If we go over, I know that there's committees who could easily do more in our communities that we serve with more funding. So this is a new Presidentian challenge. Maggie caught my spelling error and I kind of liked it because it squeezed my name in there. Play on presidential. So I like to do these. I think some people take up on it, but this is a really important one. We are entering this yet another wave of COVID, and so let's look for new ideas and fresh air. I want creativity from the club. All members should be involved in contributing some kind of idea, if at all possible. Maggie just mentioned, yes, we also need club member donations to hit that part of the 10,000. And so the fundraiser is a huge important part of what we do. It's how we do the things that you just heard from all of our committees. And without the funding, a lot of that just doesn't happen. There's only so much we can do just with our hands. So I've got a little challenge for you and some potential rewards. So once we have enough ideas in the bucket to vote on, we'll bring it to a meeting. And as a club, we'll take another one of these little Zoom polls, or if we're in person by then, we'll do it in person. But whoever provides the winning idea that the club chooses, we'll get to choose how to spend $500 of my discretionary community foundation funds budget. That could go toward your favorite committee project or a new project that you're interested in that doesn't necessarily fit within one of our avenues of service, but still fits the Rotary mold for the kinds of things we fund. And then the chair or co-chairs of the spring fundraiser get to decide where to spend $1,000 of my discretionary club funds. So this would be on things that are for the operation and enjoyment of the club. Those funds sometimes are used for things like socials. So keep that in mind, but mostly watch for a solicitation for ideas and suggestions. You don't have to develop a full flushed out concept, but if you got an idea for a theme or a location or anything related to how to do this fundraiser that has high potential for raising funds without expending a lot of overhead, we're all ears. And it may very well be that we assemble some ideas out of money ideas and then bring those more well-rounded ideas to the club for a vote. So watch for that. It's a chance to participate and a chance to direct how some of our funds are actually spent outside the traditional committee avenues. So please watch for that and participate. As our parting thoughts for this meeting, this one was pretty obvious to me. 2022, we got this, Rotarians. Show them what we do. That's all I had for this morning's meeting. So I would like, because this is club assembly, and if any members were curious about what some of those committees have been doing and were inspired by what you heard, please stay on the call and chat it up with people and learn a little bit more about what we're doing and why we do it. Thank you, everybody. The floor is open.